Kimberley Martin from ESPN, someone who covers the Browns regularly for ESPN. Talking about the Brandon Aiyuk trade situation earlier today on ESPN's Get Up.
Now the sense I'm getting is it's a matter of when this happens, not if this happens. Now, as you said, Schefter reported that the Patriots have bowed out. I'm told after talking to multiple sources that Brandon Aiyuk did not want to play for the Patriots, and he doesn't want to play for the Browns. And that's interesting because both of those teams made significant offers to get him. And when you look at the Browns, they also were in a similar situation with Deshaun Watson. They paid a lot of money to get him to Berea. If something happens like that, maybe he ends up in Cleveland, but as of right now, keep an eye on the Steelers. This does not feel like the Steelers team of old, how they're maneuvering. I think this is a team that understands that having non-losing seasons is not going to cut it in that division especially. So, Omar Khan, the GM, looking to do a little bit more wheeling and dealing. Justin Fields, they're not standing pat at that quarterback position. And Steelers are one of the teams that Brandon Aiyuk said, I want to play for. The other, the Commanders, who never came to the table. So that is interesting. If he wants to play in Washington, Washington doesn't come to the table, do we see him say, you know what, that destination doesn't work out, let me come back to San Francisco?
With that, let's welcome in Fred Greetham, senior analyst for the Orange and Brown Report. Fred, when you listen to that, it may be a matter of, my read has been, he really wants to play for the Steelers. It goes back a little bit to him saying that even before the hold in or whatever you want to call the situation with the contract. And he's trying to force his way to Pittsburgh. That's kind of my read of it.
Yeah, to me, it's a little corny. Besides the money, if you have the money, I don't know, maybe I'm out of things, but I don't think either the Patriots or the Steelers present the greatest opportunity with a much better quarterback situation than what he has with San Francisco or even the Browns. I don't know why he would dismiss the Browns if all things are equal, but we've had that in the past. So sometimes you feel like, this is a leverage situation because, Andrew Berry's aggressive and they've done this before, but I just think it's, all the way around, I don't like it. I just feel like if they could add Aiyuk but not give up Amari Cooper, that's a different situation. But I don't know if for this year you're putting them in a better position. Maybe long term you are, but you already have Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman, who you're hoping, develop and come on the scene this year. But the only proven receiver you have right now is Amari Cooper. And you bring in a guy, after missing the whole offseason, he just basically shows up and starts the season. I don't know, how that, you really don't know what you're getting. But, you do feel that the Steelers, you wouldn't like to see them come to the AFC, and especially to the AFC North, with the Steelers. So that sounds like if that's what he wants to do, and the 49ers decide they're going to accommodate him, they have him under contract. We've had guys on the Browns that wanted to be traded, and now they're prominent players on the team. So it sounds like it's a different situation with this guy. And do you want a guy like this on your team? The Browns have a culture they've developed with the players they have. I don't know. He's under a rookie contract like all of them are when they're drafted. And, and he's not willing to wait until the end of the season, and then get his big payday.
It sounds, if I'm reading you right, it sounds like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense from your perspective for the Browns to kind of bend over backwards for him this year. If he wants to come, fine, but is that
what you have with Amari Cooper? He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He just turned 30. I don't look at it. I realize when the guys get in their 30s, in the NFL, production starts to drop off. But, I don't think, he's over the hill. I think that this can affect, the mood, the team. we talked to the coaches and some of the players yesterday, and they said, "Oh, we're blocking it out and all that," but it's gotta affect you as a human being. When you just said you wanted to finish your career here, after he said he would never hold out, even when he was threatening to hold out down at Greenbrier, and he just you know I really think he wants to be here, and I really think that he feels like he's got a good thing going. If you can give up an Elijah Moore or somebody like that, or maybe not frontline players, then I'd be more interested. If it comes down to money, money is, they're all going to get paid, and you have to do it with somebody. Whether you're going to extend Cooper after this year or let him go, you probably need to get another younger wide receiver in the draft. But if you trade away, your first round pick again, it depends on, what you have to give up. But with money, I think that Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam have been able to accommodate. So if the guy doesn't want to come, you don't want to take him, and trade for him, if that's the situation. So I don't know. The sooner gets resolved and gets behind, it is a distraction, I think, for everybody involved, because the media needs to ask questions just because that's the job, of it. And I think the sooner they can just focus on the season, the better.